I typed one sentence into Claude, walked away, and came back to a finished marketing campaign. PDFs, blog posts, and a PowerPoint for my next presentation. A landing page, ad copy, and a full 30-day launch plan, broken down day by day. I didn't write a single word of it. And before you say, ChatGPT can do that, this wasn't a chat window. Claude didn't just write things. It opened folders on my computer, created files, organized everything, and saved it in my dock while I was busy with coffee. That's not even Claude Chat. That's Claude Cowork. And if you've never heard of it, you've been leaving the most powerful tab on your screen completely untouched this whole time. Listen, if you use Claude at all, you're already in one of 5 levels. Most people watching this ride are only familiar with level 1 and 2. They're not even aware level 3, 4, and 5 exist. This video is the complete guide. Every level, every feature, every workflow. And here, you'll know exactly what level you're in and how to make the most of Claude. Let's get started. Before we touch Cowork itself, I need you to see where you actually stand right now, because most people assume they're further along than they are, and that assumption is exactly what's keeping them stuck. Level 1, you open Claude Chat, you type something, you read the answer, you copy it somewhere. That's the whole workflow. Nothing wrong with it, but that's the least thing you can do with Claude. Level 2, you've started uploading files. Maybe you use projects. You save a bit of context between sessions. You're getting more out of it, but every single task still starts with you setting everything up manually. Level 3, you found Cowork. You've given it folder access. You've run some actual tasks, but the outcome is random with no defined structures, because some days it's incredible. Other days, you don't just know what to expect. Level 4, coordinated structures with the skills, plugins, and connectors all wired up and running. Cowork is talking directly to your actual tools. Tasks firing without you having to prompt anything. Level 5, full AI operating system, persistent memory, team-wide context, automated agents on duty, running tasks on their own every single day. You barely initiate anything, it just runs. Most people watching this right now are level 1 or 2. This video gets you to level 4. And at the very end, I'll show you what level 5 actually looks like and how to build it. Let's start from the ground up. There are 3 ways to use Claude on desktop. Claude Chat, where everyone starts. You ask, it answers. And when you upload a file, it checks and tells you what to do with it. Great for quick things, but every little detail still runs through you. You're always the one coordinating. Claude just responds. Claude Code, the developer, most powerful coding tool out there right now, comes with a terminal designed for engineers and tech-savvy individuals. Claude Cowork, the bridge, same engine as Claude Code running underneath, but built for non-technical knowledge work. Covers marketing, sales, operations, content, and research, but not coding. The difference? Chat tells you what to do. Cowork does it. You point it at a folder, describe the outcome you want. It builds its own checklist and walks through every step on its own, reading files, writing new ones, pulling data, doing research, and when it's done, the finished work is sitting in your folder, waiting for you. You didn't manage a single step. Anthropic didn't build this because it sounded cool. Their own internal teams, marketing and data, quietly stopped using Claude Chat and started using Claude Code because they needed something that could handle real multi-step work without someone babysitting every prompt. Cowork is what came out of that. Great for every user. Go to claude.aa/downloads. Download the desktop app, Mac or Windows. Cowork is desktop only. It will not run in your browser. Don't go looking for it. There, you need a paid plan. Pro is $20 a month. That gets you in. Most serious users end up on the $100 max plan. If you're running heavy bulk tasks or using extended thinking regularly, that's where you want to be. Once it's installed, the 3 tabs across the top will display Chat, Cowork, Code. Click Cowork. If you're a Windows user, it will ask you to enable a virtual machine security feature. Click Yes. Restart and it'll come back refreshed. And look out for these 3 important interfaces. Model Selector. Opus 4.7 is the most powerful. Use it for complex work with extended thinking on. Sonnet is faster, uses fewer credits, handles most tasks just as well. Start there. Folder Picker, where Cowork reads from and writes to. Every information it receives stays here, plus icon. Everything in this video starts here. The files, connectors, projects and plugins, and it takes just 2 minutes to set up. Now this next part looks simple, but it's not. This is honestly the most important thing to understand about how Cowork actually works, and most people scroll past it without realizing what they missed. When you give Cowork access to a folder, 2 things happen that chat simply cannot do. First, every new session you open with that folder selected already has all the info inside it. Your brand docs, strategy files, past work, tone guidelines. Claude already knows all of it before you type a single word. You never have to write it from scratch again. Second, Cowork doesn't just read those files and hand you text back. It creates new files directly inside that folder, edits existing ones, saves outputs, organizes everything. The work lands exactly where it belongs, already structured without you touching a thing. For example, I have a folder called YouTube Work, past video transcripts, channel strategy doc, audience research, all sitting in there. Every time I open a new Cowork session and click that folder, Claude already knows my tone, my audience, and my goals. I only say, help me write a hook for this week's video, and it's already working with full context. No need repeating instructions or setting up every single time. One rule, don't give Cowork access to your entire drive. Build dedicated folders, one for projects and one for clients. Copy only what that specific task needs. This keeps everything clean. It's also exactly what Anthropic recommends, especially the moment client data gets involved, because by default, Cowork remembers nothing between sessions. Once you close the app after a great session, open it the next morning and it's completely blank. That frustrates everyone at first, but there's a setup that fixes that permanently. Projects connect a specific folder to a persistent workspace inside Cowork. Each project has its own memory, its own instructions, and keeps every related chat organized in one place. In Cowork, every single session you create with Claude project stays permanent. You can say, always write in the tone from these past transcripts. My target audience are 35-year-old busy women in the e-commerce space. Every finished deliverable goes into the /output subfolder every time without reminders. Set it just once. Every session after that, it already knows. Now, the other tool that works alongside projects is something called claude.md, and most people have never even heard of it. It's a simple text file you drop inside your working folder. Cowork reads it automatically every time you start a session in that folder. Think of it as a permanent briefing document that never expires. It contains your business background, your tone and system of operation, who your audience is, what you never want Claude to do. It's all in there, and Claude walks in already holding it. It takes 10 minutes to set up, but saves so much information in just a week. Now let's talk about connectors, because this is honestly where most people's jaws drop the first time they see it. Connectors let Cowork reach directly into the tools you already use every day. Google Drive, Gmail, Google Calendar, Notion, Slack, Fireflies, all of it, to read and collect information. By experience, this is what it looks like. I had a client meeting coming up. Instead of spending an hour prepping, I told Cowork, I have a meeting with this company on Thursday. Pull my past notes from the meeting folder, check recent news about them, and give me a one-pager. It went into the folder. Found my old notes, searched the web. 8 minutes later, I had a clean, ready-to-read briefing. Company overview, recent news, attendees, and agenda to be discussed. Everything. That's the result of a system that works. Sometimes a tool does not show up in the built-in connector list. To correct that, check if your tool has an MCP server. MCP is basically a pre-packaged connection kit that gives Cowork everything it needs to talk to a specific tool. Search the tool name and MCP server on Google. If one exists, the documentation walks you through connecting it to Claude desktop in a few steps. If there's no MCP available, you can build one yourself. Cowork has a built-in skill for it. You literally say, use the MCP builder skill, build me an MCP server for this tool, and it builds the whole thing from scratch and hands you setup instructions. If neither of those works, use the browser connector. Cowork opens Chrome and navigates on your behalf. Slower, uses more credits, but it handles one-off tasks perfectly fine. And then there's computer use, which is exactly what it sounds like. Cowork takes full visual control of your screen. It sees what you see and operates everything clickable. It can sometimes be slow, but for local software with no API and no browser access, it works. To turn it on, go to Settings, then General, then toggle on Computer Use. Now let's get into skills, and I want you to pay close attention here because This is the feature that separates people who get real results from everyone else. Skills are repeatable workflows you build once and run forever. Every recurring task you do has a way it's supposed to run, a format, a quality bar, specific things you always include. Without skills, you explain all of that to Cowork fresh every single session. With skills, you explain it once, save it, and from that point on, Cowork runs it exactly the way you built it, every time. Some skills come built in. Create a PowerPoint, group files in category, build a marketing campaign concept, and run a competitor analysis. They're ready to use straight away. But the real power is in the custom skills you build yourself. In my experience, 3 to 5 test runs is usually all it takes before a skill is running exactly how you want it. And here's how it's worked for me. I have a skill called YouTube Script Builder. When I want a new script, I just say, use the YouTube Script Builder skill. I'll also give it a topic. It already knows my tone from the transcripts in my folder, already knows my hook structure, my section format, my CTA. The result? A complete ready-to-use script. This is how Cowork handles 3 hours of work in 12 minutes. Now, plugins work alongside skills, and the easiest way to think about them is this. If skills are workflows you build yourself, plugins are workflows someone else already packaged that you drop straight in. Think of them like apps for Cowork. Anthropics are not the sole creators. Some plugins were developed by communities like the Claude plugin hub, claude-plugins.dev, and Reddit and GitHub, which means you can get them from GitHub, for instance. Add them by URL or upload your own as a zip file. So you never start a session code. Most people do not understand that. Plugins are how you turn a Cowork setup into something you can hand to someone else. Package your skills, your folder instructions, your claude.md, and your project structure into a full working system. Plugin someone else can install in under 2 minutes. That's a complete product for sale. Now let's talk about agents and scheduled tasks, because this is the part where Cowork stops being a tool you use and starts being something that works without you. For large, complex tasks, Cowork doesn't just walk through things one by one. It spins up multiple sub-agents running in parallel. Each one handles a different piece of the same task at the same time. So when you say, go through every customer feedback email from this month, categorize everything by theme, and give me a priority report, it distributes that work and comes back faster than you'd expect. Scheduled tasks take it a step further. You set a task to run on a schedule, daily, weekly, specific days at specific times. No prompt from you, it just fires. Every Monday at 8 a.m., review my calendar for the week, find the open gaps, and block time for focused work. And that brings us to the last section, level 5, the AI operating system. Everything in this video, the folder access, projects, memory, connectors, skills, plugins, agents, scheduled tasks, it all starts working together in a way that none of it could do on its own. Here's how it's built. You create a central folder, your business brain. Inside it, brand guidelines, audience research, tone of voice documents, standard operating procedures, past work examples, and a master claude.md that holds all of it together with standing instructions. You connect that folder to a project. You load your skills and plugins in. You write your global instructions once. From that point on, every session you open already has everything it needs. Your business context, your voice, your audience, your standards, all of it just sitting there ready. And when you're ready to scale it across a team, every person points their Cowork at the same context folder. Every agent across the team works from the same briefing, and the output quality stays consistent across the whole team, no matter who's actually running the task. I have hundreds of documents in my AI OS right now. Strategy files, SOPs, past campaigns, meeting transcripts, customer research, all sitting in that folder. Every task I run pulls from it automatically. The difference in output quality compared to typing prompts into Claude chat is not small. It's a completely different category of work. Start small. One folder, one project, one claude.md. That's genuinely all you need to begin. Run it for 2 weeks, then add skills, then plugins, then schedule tasks. Give it 2 months, and the way you worked before will feel genuinely bizarre to look back on. If this video helped you, drop a comment and tell me what you're automating first. I will be reading every single one, like it if it helped. Subscribe if you want more of this. I've got a lot more coming. See you in the next one.